go to a friend who you love and who loves you. The kind of friend that if you called them at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know they would take your call. And if they called you, you would absolutely be there for them. And ask them this very simple question. You're asking them to put into words a feeling. And the part of the brain that controls our emotions doesn't control language. So we struggle. And ironically, you actually stop asking the question why, because the question why elicits emotional responses, and you convert to a rational question. Come on, you'll say, what specifically is it about me that I know that you would be there for me no matter what? And they will struggle, and they will hem and haw, and they go, I don't know, and they'll start describing you. You're trustworthy, you're funny, you're always there for me, and you have to play devil's advocate. And you go, great. That's the definition of a friend. What specifically is it about me that I know you'd be there for me no matter what? And they're going to go through a few rounds of this. You cannot help them. You cannot let anybody else help them. You have to let them go through the stress. And eventually, after a bunch of rounds, they will give up and they will stop describing you and they will start talking about themselves. And my friends said to me, Simon, I don't know. All I know is I don't even have to talk to you. I can just sit in a room with you and I feel inspired. And I got goosebumps. In fact, I'm getting them right now. That's because they put into words something that is deep inside of me, and you're there when you have the emotional response to what they're describing about themselves. You will well up, you will have goosebumps, something will happen. And if you do this with multiple friends, you will get similar, if not the exact same answer, because the thing you give to the world, your why, is the reason they love you. It's the thing they want in their life that fills that missing gap that they don't have, which is why we're not friends with everyone. So it's a wonderful, wonderful way to find your why.
Today I want to talk to you about something I've spoken to you about before, and that's knowing your why and why that's important. The reason why I'm entering back into this subject again after a long time of not talking about it is I feel like it's something you should evaluate quite often, or at least once a year, because your why may change. What you wanted to do before may not be what you want to do now. You should have long-term goals and short-term goals. And ultimately, you need to figure out what it takes to achieve those goals and how you're going to get there. Well, there are many ways to get to one point, but you have to find the way that's the smartest for you, the way that's going to be the most effective. But first, you have to evaluate exactly what it is you want to do, and that is your why. Why do you want to be successful? Why do you want to be promoted? Why do you want more money? You have to ask yourself those things so you know how to enter into it and keep moving. Another reason why it's extremely important to know what your why is if you don't know what your why is, how are you going to get there? You can't get to a place that you don't even know you need to get to. So that's why you need to know what your why is, because then you can just chart it out and start making the steps to get there. I evaluated some things this year because some things I thought I wanted to do, I actually don't really care to do. Why I don't want to? Because I don't want to do the work to do it, because right now it's not beneficial for me. What I want to do is take the steps to be a creative director. And that's going to require a lot of training, a lot of outside help, a lot of reading up on things, just some things that I didn't quite know I needed when I was thinking about it. But I had somebody help me chart it out exactly what it takes to be that person. And I checked off a lot of those boxes already. I actually had a lot of those skills, but what I didn't have were some key components to just push me over the top and make me better fit for what I want to be. One is knowing budgets. It's like the thing that I hate the most, but I do like getting money. When I freelance, I was always bad at pricing my work. I was actually underpricing my work because I didn't realize that my value was higher than what it was. Because things were typically easier for me, I was undercharging for it. But that's not really how it works. It's not necessarily based on the ease of you doing it. It's based on the value that you provide to other people. So budgeting was something that I needed to learn how to do. And not just budgeting to charge people, but budgeting to know how much I should be spending, how much I should be putting into training, how much I should be putting into so many other things that would allow me to do things. Or since I want to be a creative director, I have to learn why different people get paid what they get paid, how you pay them, and also how much of it you don't want to use so you have a cushion and you can keep a profit. So those are things that I'm having to learn now to push myself a little bit further. So that is the why for me. It was, my why is wanting to be a creative director. But in wanting to be a creative director, I also have to ask myself, what do I have to sacrifice? Do I have to sacrifice family time? Do I have to sacrifice my time doing extracurriculars? And the answer to that is simple. In some cases, I do a little bit. You have to find that balance for where you want to be. Going into this new year or new phase or new step in your life, start to reevaluate what your why is now. Don't carry the same why over just out of obligation. Don't carry the same why over just because you put so much time into the first one. Your goals that you had yesterday may not be your goals today. So give yourself the freedom to change them, work towards them, and keep moving. But once you find your why, I'm just asking you to go all the way through with it until it changes again. Do the things that you need to do, because the steps that you're taking now will make you better at something else later, or better at that thing that you want to do now. Your why, like I said, could be a short-term or a long-term goal. And they're forever changing as you change and as you grow and as you find importance in different things. So with that being said, find your why, because it'll let you know where you're going, where you want to be, and then it'll make you ask the question of, how do I get there? Until next time.